whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Kani anō mai e te iwi. Ki tēnei punua pāho e whakapāho atu nei. Here we are again, māua ko te puaheiri. Kia koe ngā mihi e hoa.
Tēnā koutou katoa tira, tēnā koe taku hoa. Ko hoki mai anō tātou ki tēnei wahanga o te Once Upon a Taima.
Once Upon a Taima.
Once Upon a Taima.
Once Upon a Taima. Once Upon a Taima e
Once Upon a Taima e tiwi. Ai.
And before we get into our Once Upon a Taima, anei te kiwaha o te wiki.
Te kiwaha.
Anei te kiwaha e hoa ma, pauri atu.
Pauri atu.
Pauri atu.
Yeah, pauri atu, eh?
Pauri atu. Pauri atu.
Pauri atu.
I alluded to it on our last episode when we were talking to Ifa. And pauri atu means get out of my way, out of my face.
Get.
Scusa. Just move. Yeah, it is what it is, exactly how we're saying it. So you can tell by the translation or how we've the interpretation of that kiwaha, when you would say it and when you would use it and how you would use it and who you would use it with and to.
Kia ora.
Yeah, so be careful if you are going to use pauri atu. Make sure that you're using it in the correct way, like all of our kiwaha and kupu and everything. But yeah, that's what it means, pauri atu.
Or when someone's honking the horn at you and the person in the car goes, what are they saying? What do they mean? I think there's meaning pauri atu.
Yeah. Someone could be getting in your face, or, you know, they're just being a hoha, pauri atu.
Could be watching a filmed episode of Taringa and someone stands in the way of the screen. You're like, yeah, man, pauri atu.
Right. There's a few contexts there that you can use pauri atu. So, koina tātātai kiwaha, and it's pauri, not pauri.
Ai.
Ai, kia tika te whakahua.
Kia ora.
Ko te Once Upon a Taima i tēnei wiki, kei te hoki atu ki ngā kōrero o Tāne e piki nei ki te tiki i ngā kete o te Wānanga. Nō reira, whakarongo mai. The last time we were with Tāne, he had begun a great journey to Te Toi o Ngā Rangi to seek ngā kete o te Wānanga, the 3 baskets of knowledge. Together with a few of his closest brothers, Tāne had hatched a side mission to learn the details of the design of te wharekura. What he didn't know was that his older brother, Whiro te Tupua, was also seeking ngā kete o te Wānanga, and his secret plan was to beat Tāne to it. Whiro held some deep-seated resentments towards Tāne that began with the separation of their parents, Rangi and Papa. But for today, we will look back into our kōrero on Te Toi o Ngā Rangi, where Tāne and his brothers have left the wharekura at Rangi Tuarua and are headed for Te Rangi Te Kaumarua once more. Thanks to Titi Arurangi, the great ascending whirlwind, it is as if they are being carried to Te Waharoa Tuatoru, the entrance to Te Rangi Tuatoru, where Tāne was being blessed for the second time by the whatukura to prepare for his mission.
He te pua tua uri, he te pua tua tea, he te pua nā koe, rongo marae roa, e hua, hei o nui, hei o roa, hei o matua take ki taku waro tēnei au, te atua nui ki te rangi tūhaha.
Meanwhile, as he reached each level of the rangi, Whiro te Tupua would arrive to find that Tāne had already passed before him. Finally, Whiro came upon Tāne and his brothers on the rangi te kaumātahi.
Kai a te ahi. Tāne anō. This thing is rigged. How did he beat me here again? I will need a strong makutu if I'm gonna have any chance of beating him. Hara mai e te taua tuni o poto. Come to me, my army of mosquitoes, ants, centipedes. Punga were were. Kia hok. Karia rea bet. Draw blood. Waka atua, Tāne.
Whiro confronted Tāne at the 11th heaven, Te Rangi. He advanced towards Tāne with all his might, surrounded by his army, hoping to bring his brother down. Much to Whiro's dismay, he found that the winds were protecting Tāne from all harm.
E Whiro, kaua koe I riri, he teina hau. We are brothers, can't we work this out?
Brothers? We're brothers? What does that mean? You've always had it easy, right from the start. I always had to fight for everything. What makes you so special? You're a spoiled whakapui brat.
He did have a point. The Parawera Nui had kept Whiro down at Te Ao Marama for many days as he attempted to beat Tāne to the rangi tuarua. Titi Arurangi had supported Tāne in his ascent to the higher rangi, making the climb easy.
Brother, kia tau, man. Be calm. We do not always have to result in pakanga. Let us be civil.
Oh, Tāne. So bloody righteous you are. Somebody needs to teach you a lesson.
And now Titi Parauri and Titi Matangi Nui hammered Whiro's creature army. Most of Te Tini o Poto, the small but many, were blown far into the distance as the winds came at them in full gale force. Whiro, having lost the battle against Tāne, uttered to his brother,
This isn't over, Egg. We'll see each other again very soon.
I don't know what to say. He's just never really liked me, you know? He blew all the puawai off my favorite pohutikawa when I was 5. He was trying to be funny, but I was broken. I loved that rako.
Nā maine, kei kona katoa. You've got this. We've got you.
Tā whirimātea, you and your whānau have been amazing. I mean, seriously. Me koutou katoa o ku tuakana? Tatari mai ki konei? Wait for me here, will you? We can head home together with our taonga. They've told me that I have to do this last stretch alone.
Oosh, brother. Mahi a te mahi. You'll be mean.
Koio ne, koio roa, koio matua, koio te Wānanga, koio take, koio te waiora, koio matangaro, koio tiki o rangi, koio te whiwhia, koio mataho.
At the waharoa of Te Kaumarua, the waiting whatukura perform a further karakia with Tāne and bestow upon him many more names to reflect the characteristics of his atuatanga.
Tāne nui arangi, tāne matua, tāne te Wānanga rangi, tāne te waiora, tāne te torokaha, tāne te kohurangi, tāne mai ki roa.
Tēnā koe.
Finally, Tāne is able to enter into Rangiātea. As he enters the paipai, Io Tiki o Rangi is with him.
Hana mai e Tāne. He aha te take I kake ai koe. Why is it you have come to me?
Kei te pirangi tuari ahau I ngā kete o te Wānanga. I want to take this taonga back to be shared within the wharekura. We have the plans. We've spent many days at Rangi Tuatoru learning and gathering. I'm humbled by their beauty and power.
Baia. Te whatukura o tautoko I wish e Tāne. And do you have any idea what is within those kete?
Kaore, unfortunately I don't. Engari, he taonga. But I am pākiki to know.
Anei, te
Tēnā koe anō e te rangatira. Nōku te honore, ngā mihi nui ki a koe. I will return to my brothers now, and we will begin our journey home with this taonga. Tēnā koe, tēnā koe, tēnā koe.
Tāne instantly appeared before his brothers in front of the waharua, o te rangi te kaumarue. His brothers waiting for him, deep in kōrero pertaining to the wharekura plans.
Oh, true, brothers.
As they made their way down to the Rangiātea, they were confronted by Whiro and his army again, Te Tini o Poto. Whiro launched an attack towards his brothers.
Oh, no, you don't!
Kaki maro, they just don't give up, do they?
An angry Whiro unleashed a flurry of blows, hoping to reach Tāne and bring him down.
Give me those Kete! Kete! They're meant to be mine!
Take that.
Before any damage was done, the Titi Parauri returned, pummeling Te Tini o Poto with a Category 5 Tempest. This time, many of them were taken as prisoners by Tāne and his brothers and brought to Te Ao Marama, where they have lived ever since as children of the Wānanga Tāne. Whiro himself returned to Te Ao Marama and was enraged to see the sky streaked a deep red, a tohu to mark the success of the mission of Tāne. This was not the end of Whiro's rage. More battles were fought between the atua, driven by Whiro's obsession. But in the end, he was finally defeated, and from there, descended into the rohenga. Tāne Nui Ārangi had succeeded in retrieving ngā kete o te Wānanga and sharing it in the wharekura for all. We done one upon a time on Tāwhaki, and I think we're going to have to revisit Tāwhaki again, because I feel Tāwhaki's being left out again.
Oh, here we go, kia ora,
Yes.
kia ora.
You asked a good question, because while we were off air, I pātai mai a te puaheiri ki au, what happened before Tāne went up and got the Kete o te Wānanga, the baskets of knowledge? We were just walking around like drongos.
Aye.
You know, I think in pūrākau, pakiwaitara, legends, myths, stories, kōrero tuku iho, people say that they give explanations, and they're things that, you know, we've made up in our world to find an explanation for how we've attained something.
Kia ora.
But I believe there are some truths that are hidden in a lot of the stories and some of the things we take literally. When there are actually things hidden in there. So for instance, if I was to talk about Rangi and Papa, which I think we might have talked about, when they separation and Uru Te Ngangana seeing that chink of light that was coming through. It was Te Uru Te Ngangana?
Yeah. It was.
And it's like when the kids are growing up at home and they want to sort of move away.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, they want to go out and explore and that sort of thing. So those are some of the... And so talking about Tāne ascending the heavens is also a kōrero about the pursuit of knowledge.
Of knowledge, kia ora.
Yeah, and knowing and enlightenment.
Yeah.
So tērā kōrero.
And you have your trials and tribulations that you have in the story. You have the brothers or the siblings that are supportive of Tāne, and you have the others that aren't supportive of Tāne, or there's one that wants the same thing but you know, thinks that they deserve it more and stuff like that. And I think there's layers upon that we go through every day. And all those themes. So I guess it's more of the journey than it is of the destination in the kōrero. It's the themes that
Engari, tika tai, it is a lot of the time we miss all the great things We concentrate on, and so we do, the goal and what we get from it, but it's the learnings and experiences that we gain in the journey.
Yeah, kia ora.
And just to go back on the Tāne story again, and our pedagogy,
Aye.
which is how we gave knowledge, how we learnt, how we taught. That storytelling, and as I've said before, kōrero tukuiho was given, and then karakia would have been taught as the kōrero was being taught. Waiata would have been taught. So they were also vehicles to storytelling, and nothing like a great storyteller. And, my kaumata are really, really good storytellers. I think back to a lot of the kōrero when I spent time with them and listening to the kōrero that they had, how I enjoyed listening to their kōrero, and looking back on it now, I learned a whole lot of other things in layers, as you're saying. So, koe nā no nā ahuatanga o te whare Wānanga. Nā whare Wānanga o mua, ko te tuku i te mātauranga, he tuku mā te waha.
Kia ora.
Kare pēnei e rā, it's not like now we've got our apps and our computers, iPads and whatnot, and YouTube and all sorts of things you can learn off. I talked to a group of kids on Friday, and I put my timer on for 15 minutes, and I went a bit longer. Engari no te kura tuatahi te kura nei, te kura o Pekerau. Shout out to Pekerau and to your kaiako and mātua for bringing you to o tāwhao.
Kia ora.
And I explained to all the kids how a bit of my upbringing and how I was taught a lot of the stories and things that it didn't feel like teaching at all.
Kia ora.
And that's when learning's the best, is when you don't even know you're learning.
Yeah, that's the best, yeah.
That is one of the arts of, one of the pros of storytelling. There's lots of positives about storytelling.
Kia ora.
But storytelling, kōrero tukuiho I should say, because when we say storytelling, I think you think differently as opposed to saying kōrero tukuiho.
Aye.
But kōrero tukuiho, and how you gave that kōrero and handed that kōrero and fed that kōrero to the tauira was a big part of the Wānanga, of te whare Wānanga. So koe rā e tahi kōrero, me kōrero anō au.
Kao, pai tēnei kōrero.
Yeah. And again, this is one version of Tāne, and there's many other versions or novels or chapters
or perceptions
about Tāne.
And,
but this will give you a foundation, because I think the narrative of the story is that Tāne has tended to bring the baskets of knowledge back to us, to mankind, and it's from there that we take our mohiotanga. Koe nā te tino ngako o te kōrero.
Kia ora, aye.
Yeah, and I picked up on some of the names of Tāne in the story. So Tāne te Waiora.
Tāne te Waiora.
So these are personifications of Tāne. These are the other aspects of Tāne. So although we look to Tangaroa, to the sea, and he's the major, or one of the major water god, I should say, because of the oceans, Tāne, Wai Māori is connected to Tāne.
Kia ora.
And Mātauranga is connected to Tāne. And then you have another, you got Tāne te Pukenga, Tāne te Wānanga, Tāne te Pupuke.
Te Pupuke. Yeah.
So Pupuke is talking about the swelling of Tāne, and this is also the knowledge, talking about the knowledge. We've got a whare, one of our marae, Tāne i rangi kapua. So again, that is part of the story of Tāne. And Tāne te Waiora is an old name. In Hawaii, we went to a altar, a tuahu, and it was to Kāneka Vaiola.
Kāneka Vaiola. Kia ora.
Kāneka Vaiola. So, yeah, that's another interesting thing. And I think Tāne had lots and lots of names.
Yeah, lots of names, yeah. I noticed one in Maikiroa.
Tāne Maikiroa, Tāne mono ariki tētahi. Yeah, he nui ngā ingoa mō Tāne. And to my knowledge, those are all different personifications of Tāne. Those are all and some of them are tied to the deeds that Tāne performed, or the forms that Tāne can take.
How can one look at those, I guess, and how can they view those types of deeds or those personifications or even personalities of Tāne in the modern day context? Because I can sort of see it, well, if we descend from them, do we hold those things in us? Is it one way to look at them, or?
Yeah, I'll take the whakatau ki e ai ngā wera o Tāne tahuaroa, me heke ngā wera o Tāne te Wānanga. Which means as payment for the sweat that has been given by Tāne tahuaroa, in this case a metaphor for or a figurative form of mihi to the ringawera, those
ringawera,
that are in the kitchen, tāne te tahuaroa. Then the students should be sweating. Tāne
yes.
te Wānanga.
Earning their...
Exactly, earning their kai. So yeah, all of those things are one, not only tāne, but all of the atua.
Ai, kia ora.
Kei roto i a tātou a tū, kei roto i a tātou a rongo, kei roto i a tātou a hine ahuone, kei roto i a tātou a hine titama. Ko ngē rā mea katoa me ngā ahuatanga o au atuara kei roto i a tātou i te tangata.
Kia ora.
Kanui te rā Wānanga, mō ngā kōrero i roto, and te waiata o te wiki is now popularised as a tauparapara. But back in our day, Māua ko te Puaheiri, this was like one of the number one hits when you got to learn it back in the 90s.
Yeah, it was the 90s classic.
You don't hear it much these days. I heard some rangatai sing it at Hui not long ago actually, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So anei tā tātou waiata, and hāngai tonu ki tēnei kōrero, anei tēnei au, ko te hōkai nei o taku tapuai, ko te hōkai nuku, ko te hōkai rangi, ko te hōkai ato tupuna a tāne nui a rangi. Whakarongo mai.
Tēnei au, ko te hōkai nei o taku tapuai, ko te hōkai nuku, ko te hōkai rangi, ko te hōkai ato tupuna a tāne nui a rangi. Pikiti ai ki te rangi tūhaha, ki te tihi o manono, i roko hina atura, ko i au matua kore anake. I riro i hoi ma kete o te Wānanga, ko te kete tua uri, ko te kete tua tea, ko te kete aro nui. Ka tiri tiri a ka pou a kia wapatua nuku. Ka puta te inga tangata ki te whaia, ki te
I pikiti ai, ki te rangi tūhaha, ki te tihi o manono. Hoi anō e te iwi?
I'm trying not to laugh because we learned that and it was ko he katoa te reo, ko he katoa ngā kopu nei ako nei a mātai. Hoi anō, ko ako nai nini.
And I think if you learn that waiata, it's a good snapshot of that whole kōrero that was in this installment of Once Upon a Taima. So, ki mihi ana kupu I runga I te ipurangi, you will be able to Google them. Ana, whakahāngaitia tō ako I ngā kupu ki te rangi, ko ako koe te kōrero mō tāne. So, koina nā kōrero I tēnei wā, I kōrero whakamutunga au te Puaheiri.
Kau, hey, until next time, pauri atu.
Hoi anō e te iwi, mā te aha e tēnā. Engari, e mihi ana ki a koutou. Ngā tauwhirotanga ki a koutou. Nau mai hoki mai a te wiki e tū mai nei. Kia kaha ki te kōrero Māori. And have a go at using that kiwaha and all the other kiwaha. And kia kaha tātou ki te kōrero Māori. Kia kaha tātou ki te āwhina tātou I a tātou. Hei ko nā mai rā.
Ki o, whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hooker force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira whakarongo pi kari mai. Hare mai, o Taringa hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Taringa. He mea tuku nā te Wānanga o Aotearoa. Nā te māngai pāho I tautoko. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe. Taringa, whakarongo mai.